So this is part 2 of my May 2016 Hobonichi Pt.2 flip through. So I left off there on May 17th. No more PT. My youngest child had been getting some physical therapy just to try to meet some gross motor milestones, and graduated from PT, so doesn't have to do it anymore. Which I'm a little sad because I'm going to miss his therapist. She's really awesome, but I'm very proud of him and very happy that he got through that program and is now meeting his milestones. So that was great. And that night I went to a little event at a neighbor's house. They were talking about essential oils, which I already kind of knew about because I used to work at Whole Foods years and years ago, and learned about some kind of aromatherapy sort of things there, but it was still interesting. And these are, again, all this coloring is done with those Pilot mild liner highlighters, and you can see, like I talked about in my video on those, so you can get some nice like shading tones just by layering the ink. It's pretty cool. And washi tape, of course. On Wednesday the 18th, I went out and had some pit beef lunch. It was a fundraiser for one of the local schools. Ran by the hardware store and bought 50 pounds, two 50-pound bags of sand for our old turtle sandbox. My husband and I watched The Witch. We had meant to see this in the theater and just didn't get to it, so I caught up with it on DVD. We really enjoyed it. I had a lot of friends who had kind of mixed reviews of The Witch, and maybe it helps that I went into it with kind of low expectations because so many people I know didn't like it. My husband and I both really enjoyed it. You know, it's not a fast-paced horror movie. It's not a slasher movie or anything like that, but it was we agreed that it was a cool, like, colonial era witch movie, and we liked it. We thought it was pretty entertaining. So maybe if you're interested in seeing it and haven't seen it yet, just temper your expectations and know it's not a real fast-paced, you know, heavy special effects heavy movie, but we liked it. Now, actually, I got these 2 days mixed up, and I realized that when I was updating that actually these 2 days should have been switched. This should have been Thursday and this should have been Wednesday. I think my pages kind of stuck together, and because I was catching up on it, doing more than one day at a time. Went for a 3-mile run. My training group got new jackets. That's very exciting. And I got some spiralized spaghetti. People sometimes call it zoodles, you know, or vegetable noodles, at the store for my husband to try. I want to buy one of those spiralizers, but I'd said that we weren't going to spend the money on getting one unless I knew that's something my family's actually going to eat. But it was kind of a hit. He liked it. I think they're good. The kids seem to enjoy them. So I'm probably going to, at some point, break down and buy one of the little machines to do it. On the 20th, I went out and got new washi tape at Michael's. And I really like, I think I mentioned this in the other one, I love these floral washi tapes you can get that have the clear background with the flowers, because you can get such great effects with those by tearing them up and kind of confettiing them over a page. I think they're really cool. And I like this one too because it almost looks like little buttons. I bought a new diffuser. That kind of ties back to the essential oil thing. I do like to put lavender and eucalyptus and stuff around, and my old diffuser wasn't working, so I just bought an inexpensive new one. We spent the next weekend with our Girl Scout troop at Great Wolf Lodge. That was the girls' end of the year celebration this year. We did one overnight there with our cookie money. That's what we spent the majority of our cookie money on. So that's a good time. And it was kind of, last year they donated almost all of the cookie money to a bunch of different charities and causes. Some national charities, some international. They donated to Doctors Without Borders, and we donated to some local families in need. And the end of this year and next year, I had mentioned in my previous video, they're raising money to purchase a defibrillator unit for a local campground. So, and I think in the years coming up, they're going to be doing their higher level awards in Girl Scouts. They're getting a little bit older. This was kind of a last hurrah, I think, for this is probably the last time that we're going to have a large amount of troop money that isn't going to have, it's not going to be needed for specific award projects. So we are still doing some charitable donations as well this year, but we kind of splurged and decided to do a fun overnight trip. And I was very glad we picked Great Wolf in part because it is an indoor activity, so it's not weather dependent. I'm so glad we did that because it poured this weekend. And when the girls made the decision and I okayed the decision as their troop leader that we were going to do Great Wolf, some other people were saying, gosh, that's an expensive trip. You know, why don't you go camping? Why don't you take a camping trip? And they have gone on several camping trips, but we've had so many rainy camping trips. I think we've only had one sunny, good weather trip. And we camp rain or shine as long as we can stand it, we'll do it. But it was nice to have something where we just didn't have to deal with the weather. For one night trip, it was a very good time. Had a rest day after I came home from the trip. I took a nap. I did some knitting, watched some TV, got some dinner. I even skipped my run, which I don't usually do. But that was a restful, relaxed day. On the 24th, I did a little craft at home. I made some dryer balls for our dryer. Instead of using dryer sheets, I made wool yarn balls and felted them in the washer and the dryer. And my daughter and I added some lavender oil to them to make the laundry smell good. I did a 4-mile run. On the 25th, I was recognized for 5 years of service with our Girl Scout service unit. That was kind of fun. And this is the thing I like to do with the floral washi tapes, kind of use them as a little patchwork sprinkled kind of thing. And this is actually an old Girl Scout patch that they're not using these anymore, but I've used a couple of them in my book. So the discovery of the week, the next day, my sons and I went to a local tiki bar. It was a lot of fun. I ran 4 miles. It's a tiki bar, but you can bring children. The children welcome during the day, and the kids could play on the beach and have pizza and stuff. So the next day, I was already plotting a return to the tiki bar. Gears are turning. This is a Ducky Momo from, if you watch Phineas and Ferb on the Disney Channel. I had a blank space here in my Hobonichi, and I was trying to decide what to put, and my daughter said, by request, she requested that I add a Ducky Momo in there. So that's what I did. Finally, the last weekend of the month, Memorial Day weekend, I said half of us at the beach, half of us in New York. My husband and our daughter went up to New York City to go to the Hatsune Miku concert at Hammerstein Ballroom. And my sons and I stayed home. We did go back to the tiki bar and hung out at the beach for the afternoon. Everybody had a good time. Husband and daughter came back. They brought back goodies from the city. They went to Trash and Vaudeville in the village. It actually just moved to a new location down there. It's where my husband and I used to like to go with our friends years and years ago. So my husband brought me a Blondie t-shirt and a CBGB shirt, and they brought home some curry sauce from Go-Go Curry, and my daughter got a little stuffed soot ball from Kinokuniya and some manga. And they ordered a Hatsune Miku doll. She's not in yet. It's probably going to take a few weeks for her to arrive, but we're all very excited about that. And finally, Memorial Day. I drew this for Memorial Day and used some of my new washi tape. This is, again, the mild liner ink. And on the 31st, so much paperwork and phone calls and spreadsheets. I'm taking on a new role with our Girl Scout service unit involving the placement of girls who are looking for troops and contacting troop leaders and keeping track of who's been placed and who still needs to be placed. So that's been my new job for this year, and I'm just starting on it now. It's really going to kick in come fall. So that is the second half of my May 2016 flip through. And I'm going to do a video, I hope within the next week or so. I want to do another one and kind of talk a little bit about, I'm almost halfway through the year with the Hobonichi Techo and how it's going and what I think of it and I loved the Hobonichi when I first started. I still do. I like it a lot, but I definitely have some thoughts there now that I've been using it on a daily basis for several months since January. So thanks a lot. Bye-bye.